friends and spiritual travelers, Mystic Al here, aka Nathan. Today we have the full moon in Aries astrological forecast and pick a card reading. So we're going to start by talking about the transits and the aspects that are occurring during this full moon period in Aries, which is occurring on the 1st or the 2nd of October, depending on where you are in the world. So it's happening at 7:05 a.m. here in Australia, in Sydney, Eastern Standard Time. It's occurring at 9:05 p.m. in Greenwich Mean Time, and I think it's 1:05 p.m. on Pacific Eastern Time in the United States. So if you want to watch the astrological forecast, stick with me for the next 10 minutes or so as we talk about the transits and the aspects. But if you want to skip to the pick a card readings, then the timestamp for the introduction to that will be in the description box and in the comments section. So you can have a look at that right now if you like. But moving on to the astrological forecast. So it's all about the full moon in Aries in October. The sun is currently in Libra. So the full moon is occurring at 9 degrees 10 minutes in Aries, and the sun is will be at 9 degrees 10 minutes in Libra. So these two luminaries will be opposing each other. They have different sort of focuses and intents. The moon talks about our feelings, our emotions, our day-to-day experiences. It really influences our day-to-day feelings. Our energy levels also. It talks more about our deepest desires and what we need to survive, what we need to keep us going in a sense. And then there's the sun, which is all about like our energy, how we're living, who we currently are, and what we're trying to achieve in a sense. So the moon in Aries is the first sun sign of the zodiac. It's all about like vitality and energy, putting itself first, going after the things that it wants, and being the best at whatever it can do. So the moon in Aries is all about us like really wanting to attend to our own needs, focus on ourselves, and to do the things that we want to get things in order so that we can be the best that we can for now, basically. And the sun, which is opposite the moon in Libra. Libra is the zodiac sign associated with like balance and harmony, of love and being just and fair and kind and courteous to your fellow man. It's a very social and outgoing sun sign. So the sun in Libra wants us to be more social and to get out and to spend time with others, to lend a helping hand to people that are in need, or to just sit around and be social and like listen to what other people have to say. Generally, an opposition is a tough aspect. But with this moon in Aries, I really think it's about us like actually wanting to spend time with others and be social again. And it's a great time to do that, considering we've all been going through like a really tough year in 2020, where a lot of us have been trapped indoors because of the pandemic, or there's been riots with the Black Lives Matter movement, the bushfires in California now, which is devastating and horrific. And I hope and pray that anyone there that is affected by stay safe and well. We had the major bushfires here in Australia, which devastated a lot of our national parks, and we lost a lot of wildlife because of it. So now is a really good time to reunite with your friends and family and loved ones, and to spend time moving forward and reconnecting with people, remembering what's important about life, about sharing our ideas and thoughts and love with other people, basically. There's a real need for us to want other people to understand who we are and what our deepest desires are during this transit, basically. With the moon associated with Aries, about who we are and what we want, our desires. This full moon has a deep aspect of wanting people to understand us clearly, being able to express ourselves well, having people listen to us and really connect and understand at a deep level what we are and who we are and what we want from life, and vice versa, sort of sharing those concepts with each other, so we can sort of also expand our consciousness and grow through connecting with other people in a sense. Now on to some of the other aspects associated with moon. We'll talk about the positive aspects to start with. Firstly, the moon will actually be conjunct Chiron in Aries at 9 degrees during the full moon period. So Chiron is one of the smaller planets. It's the wounded healer. Chiron has the ability to see what needs healing in other people, but sometimes struggles to actually see that he needs that thing to be healed within himself. So people tend to be a mirror sometimes for things that we need to heal within ourselves. We can see within other people. And if we do some reflection and contemplation, then it's a great opportunity to be able to see, like, okay, why am I worried about that person? Like, what is it about that person that's bothering me? Or how come they can't see what I can see? It's obvious. When you spend some time thinking about it, maybe it's like, well, I can see that and it bothers me through them because it's actually something about myself that I'm not too fond of or that I need to heal. Chiron is also associated with healing in general, like physicality in your health. So with the moon conjunct Chiron, a conjunction is when the two planets or the luminaries are like right next to each other and they sort of take on one larger like energy associated with the moon in a sense. So this is a great period for us to focus on things that we actually physically need to heal within ourselves. So if we have any like sicknesses or ailments, to go see a doctor or to start doing some sort of remedies and rectification that will heal that thing about us. Because the sun is also in Libra at this time, it's a great time also to maybe like think about joining some sort of social exercise or sport group that you may have always wanted to do. So if you had like a hobby in the past and you've let it go over the last few months or years, it's a great time to pick it up again and go back to your social club and to start playing that sport again. Or maybe to invite a friend or a family member or a group of people to go out to the park and play soccer or to have a game of tennis, or even just to go for like a walk in the park or something. So to combine like the need to improve our health and look after our physicality with that need right now also to be social and to care about other people and to reconnect again, basically. Some other positive aspects that we have. So the Venus, the planet of beauty, of aesthetics, of love and sensuality, things that we love and desire, is actually trining Mars in Aries. So Mars is the ruler of Aries. Mars is the planet of aggression, of taking action, of impulsivity. It's also the planet of war and aggression. So Mars is actually like dignified in Aries. It feels comfortable in its home zodiac. It works well in Aries. So this planet, this aspect is actually a positive aspect in the sense that like Venus, the planet of like love and beauty and sensuality, in a positive or harmonious aspect to our forceful nature of wanting to take action, combined with this period of like wanting to reconnect and get out there due to the sun being in Libra, it's a really positive time, I think, where all of us can express ourselves quite well. We can express ourselves quite clearly. There's a deep need for us to want to be understood by other people, but because of this aspect with Venus trine Mars in Aries, we're feeling really confident. We're expressing ourselves very authentically, very clearly. We're having a lot of fun. We're bringing an element of like joy and positivity to all interactions in a sense. So Venus kind of sort of quells that really fiery, aggressive nature of Mars. Mars is currently also in retrograde at the moment until November the 13th. So the focus of Mars is kind of like inward, like internal. It's not so outward and aggressive anymore. It may be a period when you're feeling a little bit lackluster or low too, but Venus kind of boosts that energy and like makes us feel really loving and compassionate and want to like share and connect to other people. But it's a really great and positive time where we can all be like really clearly understood by other people and where people actually enjoy spending time with you and vice versa. Like you're liked for the person that you are and the way that you're expressing yourself in a sense. So this is a really like beautiful and optimistic transit, I sense, where there's a really great opportunity to heal things that need to be healed, but by doing so through reconnecting with other people and getting an idea about like, I guess, expanding our consciousness by sharing ideas with other people, but also being able to communicate about things that we want and the things that we need from life, and maybe getting ideas from other people about whether they think it's a great idea, or if it's positive or negative, or whether we should go after it or not, in a sense. And we have another trine here. So Neptune in Pisces, Neptune is also the ruler of Pisces. Neptune is dignified in Pisces also. Neptune feels comfortable in Pisces. Is making a trine with Saturn and Pluto, who are currently conjunct in the zodiac of Capricorn. So Saturn is the ruler of Capricorn too. Saturn conjunct Pluto is a deep transformative energy about getting things right, like changing habits that weren't working for us and actually dedicating ourselves to things that are working for us. It's that need and desire to get things right in our life and to really to move forward in life, having a clearer understanding about how things work or what is actually good and benefits us in a way. So this trine with Neptune in Pisces trining this deep transformative need to get things right in our life is a really dreamy and magical time where we can chase our biggest dreams and desires. We have the inspiration, the dreamy, airy, fantastical nature of Neptune in Pisces about what we really want, what our ultimate biggest goals are basically, along with the pragmatism and the practicality to actually go after it and do the things that we need to do to make that dream a reality. So not only is this a really great time to heal aspects of yourself that maybe you've been avoiding in the past or weren't aware that you needed to heal with Chiron conjunct the moon, and sharing ideas about how you can progress your life with other people, but it's also a great time to actually have the motivation and the desire to start making those changes, to really push forward and to know where you're going in the future, in a sense, to allow your biggest dreams and desires to come through hard work and practicality in a way. But onto the more challenging aspects of this full moon. So we have Mars in Aries currently in retrograde. Mars is squaring Saturn and Pluto conjunct in Capricorn. So Mars in Aries are wanting to be very aggressive. Wanting to see progress and see things on an upward trajectory, being aggressive and going after things. But then you have Saturn and Pluto, this transformative energy that's making us really assess what's working in our lives and to get things right, to focus and buckle down on routines essentially. So this is a challenging aspect in the sense that it's quite easy to get quite frustrated with a lack of progress. If you're someone that has a short temper or is very impulsive, just be mindful that this transit may be a little bit triggering for you in the sense that you may feel as if you're not getting anywhere and being quite frustrated with a lack of progress, or at least seeing the rewards for your efforts in a sense. But what this aspect is good for is actually, once again, in a way, making us reassess the mistakes that we'd made in the past and learning from them and working out what we need to do in order to get those things right within ourselves and to have the right sort of techniques and process in place to make our biggest dreams and desires come true, with Neptune in Pisces also trining Saturn and Pluto conjunct in Capricorn. And the final challenging aspect is Mercury, which is the planet associated with communication. Mercury is the messenger. It's all about communication and the way that we express ourselves through writing, through talking, through singing, through our body language and stuff like that. All about your mind too, the way you think, the things that you say. Mercury is currently quincunx, or in conjunct the moon in Aries. And a quincunx, or an in conjunction, is an aspect where these two planets or luminaries just don't understand each other. They don't see eye to eye. It's not so much an opposition where there's a flat out disagreement in a sense. It's just a kind of when there's someone in the office at work that you just have nothing in common with and you try to have a conversation with them, but after 30 seconds you kind of just go, I'm going to go back to my desk and get back to work now. And you think about it, I just don't like that person. I have nothing in common with them. So in conjunct, with Mercury in conjunct the moon in Aries, there's a need to be mindful that sometimes we can maybe overinterpret communication from other people, that we may overanalyze what people are saying. There's a possibility that we may take things too personally in a sense. So there's a disconnect by the things that we're thinking and the communication that we're receiving from other people, along with how we're feeling and the way that we actually take that communication. So there's also a need just to be mindful that if you don't understand what somebody is saying or communicating to ask for clarification, because there is a possibility during this transit that we can maybe take things the wrong way or interpret things the way it wasn't meant to be taken, basically. So just ask for clarity. If you don't understand somebody, just say like, oh, what do you mean? Can you repeat that? Or even maybe like checking in with them after you finish the conversation to make sure that they actually understand where you're coming from and know what it is that you're trying to express to them, so that there is no like room for misinterpretation in a sense. And finally, just a small thing, but after the moon is in opposition to the sun or the full moon, there's a period of about a day where all of these aspects are actually completing, where the moon is actually not in aspect to any planet or luminary. And this period is called like the void moon. So it's finished all of its aspects and it's kind of just sitting around in Aries with nothing else to do. So just be mindful that like a day or two after the full moon that we may feel a little bit unsettled or even just a little bit low, as if we're not sure what we're doing or where we're going in a sense, but it's only for about a day. It will pass very quickly. I hope you enjoyed that interpretation. I just think this is a really great opportunity for us to make big changes in our life through kind of communicating with other people and reconnecting with other people and like sharing our ideas about what we want from the future. Like bouncing ideas off each other in a sense, and you know, getting the confidence from somebody else that they actually enjoy our thoughts and our ideas, and like getting the confidence to make the changes that we want in our lives to be able to go after the things that we want in the future. But moving on from that, we have the pick a card reading. So we have 3 piles for you today associated with this full moon in Aries. We have pile 1 here with the green magnet, pile 2 with the blue magnet, and pile 3 with it's kind of a lilac purple colored magnet. So please use your intuition to choose a pile. Remember, this is a general reading, so take only that which resonates with you and leave the rest behind. I hope you enjoy your reading and thank you for being here with me. And let's get started with pile number 1 to find out what's going on with the full moon in Aries. With the lovely green, light green, almost a lime-colored arrow. Let's find out what's happening for you with this full moon in Aries. We'll look at your oracle cards to start with, your moonology cards. You have to step out of your comfort zone, North Node. And you have the full moon in Aries, a fiery climax approaches. That's funny and beautiful. I will admit, when I was shuffling the cards, that this actually flipped over, and I just thought, could you imagine my excitement? And I just love it when these things happen in tarot, and it happens quite regularly. I find that it's just a nice reminder that we are all connected to something else. That these things happen in tarot and astrology for me. It's like too frequently for them to just be coincidences. So I really just think it's a nice reminder that we are all connected to something bigger, that we all have our own little spirit guides with us, that the universe is here watching or looking after us, and just reminding us that, you know, not to take life too seriously and have a little bit of fun. And you have the no need to worry card, as we're just talking about having a little bit of fun. No need to worry. We'll start with those cards for you. I think it's beautiful that you have the full moon in Aries card during the full moon in Aries, pile 1. Lovely. Okay, what I am seeing for you, pile 1, is potentially, this is a group that maybe has felt a little despondent about where you're going, maybe. You may have felt a little confused about whether you're on the right path, or I am sensing that with the step out of your comfort zone and the no need to worry card here, this really indicates to me that maybe you've been in a little bit of a rut, or you've been sort of just like doing the daily grind day to day with your work, and nothing's really changing. Like, you may be feeling as if you're not going anywhere, or just feeling a little bit stagnant. Potentially you're even feeling or worrying if you're on the right path. But firstly, the universe is saying there's no need to worry. Try not to stress too much. Remember, life is just a game, really. We're just here to live, learn, and love, I think. So try and let go of the worries if you're feeling that way. But what I am sensing, though, with the full moon in Aries, a fiery climax approaches. I just sense that there's going to be some big changes that occur in your life that maybe you have no control over, or things are going to step in that like direct you down a different path if you need to go down a different path, in a sense. Or if there's some sort of issue, some sort of health related issue, or maybe just some like annoying niggling problems that you have, some personal problems that you haven't been addressing, I think like something is going to happen that's going to force you to take action on those things and to actually like address them and to get them right. So that, remembering that we have Mars squaring Saturn in Capricorn, which is all about like really buckling down and making sure that we have things like sorted out, that we know what we're doing, that we have the right sort of process in place to move forward and like address the issues that we maybe were not addressing in the past. So I am sensing it's an opportunity for you in a way to change certain things that you hadn't been addressing, or that were just kind of like sitting in the background that maybe you were ignoring and just not dealing with, in a sense. This is also a period where potentially you could get quite frustrated or feel a little bit like impulsive or short-tempered, I'm sensing, Power One. Remembering also that like that during this period, Mars square Saturn during the full moon, it's easy to get a little bit frustrated, that tempers can flare with things not working out the way we want. So just be mindful to like take some time to chill a little bit, think things through before you react to things potentially. Make sure that you're very clear when you're talking to other people about what it is that they're trying to express, so that you don't misinterpret things that are said to you or take things the wrong way a little bit. But with the step out of your comfort zone here, the North Node, I think it's also about you like really starting to expand on the things that you want to change in your life. So potentially if you are in a job that isn't really satisfying for you, or maybe you've wanted to like work on your fitness, because this is a great opportunity also to resolve some health matters with Chiron conjunct the moon. So there are things like that you do want to do to really start like pushing yourself a little bit more, to go further and beyond what you've done previously. So if you have a gym routine and you go to the gym regularly, maybe to change up your routine, or to like increase the weights a little bit, to just see what you can achieve. With work, if you've been doing the same thing over and over, maybe ask the boss if you can try something new or take on a new project. Like elevate your own responsibilities, in a sense, to see what you can handle and what is too much, or to get an idea of what you're capable of, in a sense. And with the No Need to Worry card there, I really just sense that you'll be quite amazed about what comes out, about learning about what you have the capabilities to do. I think you will surprise yourself about the gifts that you have and the talents and what you can manage, basically, is what I'm getting for you, Power One. Moving on from that, ooh, you have the Void card. Stop, embrace winter, great cosmic wound. This is really interesting. So you've got the full moon in Aries card. A fiery climax is approaching. And if you watch the astrological forecast at the start, I talked about at the very end of that there's a day or so after the full moon where the moon isn't really an aspect to any other planets or luminaries. It's kind of just sitting in Aries doing nothing. It's done its job. So this is a period where we can feel a little bit low, or feel as if like we're just a bit lost and not sure what it is that we're meant to be doing. It should only last for a day or two, but it's interesting that you got the Void card there. So, yeah, it'll be a day, it's called the Void Moon, when the moon is no longer an aspect to any other planets, essentially. It says, stop, embrace winter, the great cosmic womb. And you also have here that we are the Hathors, deep love, mother's milk. Birth as a portal, interesting. Okay, so what I'm getting from those cards, I did pick up on a group that may be very impulsive or have a short temper, or you may be like prone to reacting quite quickly or strongly to certain emotions sometimes. So with the Void card here, the Void, this really indicates to me that like there is a need for you to maybe just pause before you react to certain things, to think things through a little bit more, to be quite clear about whatever it is that you want to achieve, to make sure that when you're communicating with people during this period that they understand you and that you understand them quite deeply, that there's no confusion or misinterpretation about what's being said, in a sense. But I also am sensing, once again, with the Void card here, I just am picking up on a group that maybe has been feeling a little bit down or lost about where they're going in life, or not to say that you don't have a direction, I'm sure you do, Pile 1, but you're just kind of worried if you're actually going to achieve the things that you're trying to achieve, or whether potentially you need to change path and focus on something else. But you do have the card here of no need to worry. Along with the Haters card here, talking about deep love. So I'm just sensing that like this is a period where you just need to like work through this feeling, not to stress too much about feeling a little bit lost or low. I am also sensing that you could really do with like benefiting from connecting or reconnecting with people that you haven't seen for a while, Pile 1. There's a deep focus during this transit with the full moon in Aries, opposite the sun in Libra, about like wanting to reconnect and to share our ideas and concepts with other people, to bounce our ideas off, to get an idea of whether other people agree with us or not, but also just to express love, because you know we're all coming out of a period that has been quite trialing and taxing emotionally. So you could get a lot of benefit by actually reconnecting with the people that you care about most, or getting outdoors and working on your fitness, or like joining like some sort of social sporting club like yoga or meditation or something like that, just to take your mind off this feeling that maybe you're not sure what's going on, or feeling a little bit lost and confused at the moment. But most definitely a strong emphasis on the need to like just be mindful about the things that you say and the way that you express yourself during this period. I really do see though it's a great opportunity for you, Pile 1, to, with the full moon in Aries card there, a fiery climax approaches. I'm just sensing that you have a lot of energy right now. There's a lot of vitality, a lot of motivation. So this is a really great time for you to be able to address those things that need to be fixed, or to work on your fitness or your health, or to get an idea, a very practical idea about how you want to achieve the things that you want to achieve next year. To start moving towards your North Node, or to make sure that you take bigger and bolder steps towards like achieving the things that you want from your life in the future. Beautiful. But moving on from that, Pile 1, let's get some further messages and insight for you about what's coming during this full moon in Aries for you. Spirit, can we get some further messages, please, for Pile 1? What do they need to know about what's coming this full moon in Aries? I love the first card that's come out for you. It's beautiful. I'm also drawn to like the portal here in the Heathers card. We are the Heathers. It says bathe in birth as a portal. So this is a great opportunity to start something new too, Pile 1. If there's something that you've always wanted to do, that you maybe have been putting off in the past, or that even like making the biggest steps in terms of like working towards your biggest goals and desires in a way, like to step through this portal and to take a chance on something new potentially, or to make those big bold steps towards your biggest goals in a sense. Any further messages, please, Spirit, for pile number 1 about the full moon in Aries? I still love that you got the full moon in Aries card and also the void card with the void moon the day after. Very synchronistic reading for you, pile 1. Oh, wow, okay. Okay, now the cards are coming out, so we'll stop there for you. So the first 2 cards that came out for you are quite amazing. You have both the Queen of Pentacles, and you also have the Page of Pentacles too. Page of Pentacles is like fresh energy. I really just see you being quite inspired and motivated at this time. that you have a vision about what it is that you want in the future, and that you have the motivation to start making it happen. Noting that we have like Jupiter, Saturn, and Pluto all in Capricorn at the moment, which is really like grounded energy, all about transforming our life to make things happen the way that we want, or to do the things that we know we need to do to progress our life in a sense. But with the Queen of Pentacles there also, noting that the Sun is in Libra, which is all about harmony and balance and sharing like our thoughts and love with other people. I just sense that you're going to be feeling quite like generous and gregarious. You want to get out and be social. You want to like share your wealth and your knowledge, your insights, just to reconnect with other people, essentially. But with those two cards, strong indication of like abundance coming your way if you actually get down and knuckle down and change the things that you know you need to change. That you have a vision about what it is that you want, but you also have the motivation and the I guess the desire to go after those things, to make it work. So there's a progression here too, from the Page of Pentacles to the Queen of Pentacles. You're leveling up in a sense, like you're doing the work and getting really grounded right now and starting to make the changes that you want in life, which is really amazing. Or if maybe you've been avoiding, or you do avoid doing it, I just sense that things will happen in your life potentially that will force you to make the changes that you need to make. Interesting. You have the Ten of Swords card. And the final card that came out for you is the Death card. Interesting. Wow. Ooh, okay. Now those two cards to me are very similar in a sense. I think this is kind of like a death of your ego in a way. And it's funny when tarot readers talk about an ego death. Like, what does that mean, really? It doesn't mean that there's a part of you that's dying. It just means that you start to get quite real about like what you need to do to be able to get practical about making changes, what you need to do to go where you want to go, to stop doing things that are keeping you small or like self-sabotage in a sense, or to make sure that you have an idea about, like, to be really clear about what it is that you want. Sometimes the ego can say that we want something, but really we need something else. That we want this new car, but really we just need a bike and we need to get some more exercise and ride to work or something like that. So these two cards indicate to me like a bit of an ego death, in the sense that like anything that maybe you haven't been addressing, that you haven't been dealing with in the past, I see you really getting quite practical and grounded about it, and like getting down to it, buckling down and actually like making it work, doing the things that you need to do, that you know you need to change in a sense to be able to make your dreams come true, or to progress towards your North Node. Also noting that the Death card is related to Scorpio, which is ruled by Pluto. Pluto in Capricorn, of deep transformations. I just sense that this is a time where you can really make deep, visceral changes within like your daily habits, or the things that you do from like week to week, in a sense, that will lead you towards leveling up in a sense, and making your life the dream that you've always wanted it to be, which is really amazing for you, Pile 1. There's no need to worry, all's working out for you. If you are afraid about like, or you're not sure about what it is you need to change, I just sense that during this full moon period it'll be made clear to you, or things will happen that will make you like wake up and address the things that you need to change anyway. So try not to worry too much is the idea here. But beautiful reading. Moving on from that, Pile 1, let's get a closeout message for you from the universe as your back deck. Spirit, can we get a closeout message, please, for pile number 1? I love that you got the Page of Pentacles there and the Queen of Pentacles also. Once again, a little synchronistic in a sense, but I just sense that you have this desire to be around other people. The Queen of Pentacles always represents someone that is very social and wants to share her wealth with other people, you know. So it's a good opportunity for you to reconnect with the people that you love, and to get outdoors and be really social. Any closeout message, please, Spirit? There it is. Obstacles are detours in the right direction. There you go. Okay. So I was sensing that there's things that you need to change. I think you already know that too. If you're really honest with yourself, pile one, there's things that you need to change in your life that are maybe holding you back from being the person that you want to be and doing the things that you want to do in your future. If you've had some like obstacles in your recent past and you've been feeling a bit stuck, a bit despondent, maybe you weren't sure where you're going or whether you will actually achieve the things that you will. I just think that this is a period where maybe you're being a little bit tested too. That with this energy, and you have a lot of motivation and vitality right now, I think you're being tested in a sense to really commit, to see how much you really want these things to happen. So it's all about like just being really focused and committed during this period, buckling down, making the changes that you need to do, and just trust that you are on the right path, that the universe is leading you to where you need to go. Try not to worry, Power One. It's all good. That's all I have for you. I hope that resonated with you. If it did, please like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Just a reminder, if you got something out of this and you think that maybe this video would be beneficial for other people that you love, I'd love if you could share it on. That would be great. Thanks. I wish you a beautiful day, and let's move on to pile 2. Welcome, pile 2, with the lovely light blue arrow. Let's find out what's in store for you during this full moon in Aries. We'll start with your oracle cards. You're very close to achieving your goal, the gibbous moon. And you have the fixed moon. Hold your vision. Lovely. You have the card of recovery. Now that's interesting. We'll start with those cards, pile 2. Wow, okay. It seems to me that you're on the right path, pile 2, which is really good to hear, right? So the gibbous moon there and the fixed moon, both these cards kind of have the same theme. Hold your vision, and you're very close to achieving your goals. So it seems to me that you have a vision about what you want to achieve very soon, or potentially about what you want to do in the future, where your life is going, maybe. But I just sense that you've been working on something very strongly, or putting a lot of time and effort and energy into something. And if you've been wondering when it's going to take off or when you're going to see the rewards for it, then the cards are really indicating that very soon, not long after the full moon is what I'm getting for you, pile 2. I also am picking up on a group that has strong visualization skills. So you have the ability to work out what it is that you want, to visualize something, but then to sit down and to devise a practical plan about how to make it come into fruition. And not only that, but then you have the skills and the know-how to like go after it and actually do those things, to make sure that your plan actually brings it into fruition too. So this is a very like down-to-earth practical group. I sense potentially may have like a lot of like earth placements, planets in earth placements in your natal chart potentially. Noting that right now we have Jupiter, Saturn and Pluto all turning direct very soon in Capricorn. So it's a great opportunity to get really grounded and down to earth about how to make our plans come into fruition in a sense. And this is a group that I sense is very motivated and dedicated anyway, to start with. But what I am seeing here with the recovery card is that during this full moon period, potentially it's time for you, pile 2, to sit down and to reassess your plans. That just to revise it in a sense, to be clear about where you're going and what it is that you want, or to maybe do any tweaking that may be required in terms of like, you know, knowing what's working for you and what's not, and making sure that you are following the very correct process in terms of actually manifesting the things that you are trying to achieve right now. It may also be a time where it's a good opportunity to take some time out and to focus on something else, to switch your mind in a sense from like focusing on whatever it is that you've been very intently working on in the recent past. Just to take a break so that you can like refresh and recover and like regain the energy to continue to focus on it in the future in a sense. I just sense that like it's a great opportunity here to like, noting that the sun is in Libra, which is all about connections and love and sharing your thoughts and inspiration with other people, like wanting to help people out, to reconnect basically after a really challenging and trialing 2020. Maybe it's a great opportunity or a great time for you right now to take a few days off and to be social and to see your friends and family if you're able to do that. Potentially to get outdoors and to take a break, maybe go to the beach if it's still sunny wherever you're living right now, noting that it's spring in Australia here. It's starting to get warm, which is really beautiful. And it's the end of summer, I think, in the Northern Hemisphere. So maybe make the most of the last few days of summer in the warm period. There's just a need for you to take time out to allow your mind to refresh so that you can continue to use this really practical, motivated energy that I sense that you're tapping into right now, pile, to continue moving forward on those things that you're trying to manifest at the moment. But I just see a really motivated, down-to-earth, very pragmatic and practical group. If there's things that you need to change in your life, pile 2, I sense that you're probably already onto it. This is a group that doesn't allow things to just sit in the background or put things to the side. I sense that when there are problems in your life, you have the gumption to really go after it and make the changes like straight away, which I really envy actually. I wish I was that motivated and more in control about things that I could change. Good on you, pile 2. Your next 2 cards. You have the Cosmic Heart, devotion, potency. Make your life a moving prayer. There you go. Okay. Most definitely a strong devotion and desire to make something happen with your life. If you have a clear vision about what you want, or even if it's just a small plan that you've been working on, something recently that you've been spending a lot of time on, I think you're very dedicated and you have the skills and the know-how to make it happen, is what I'm getting. And you have you're not for everyone. Embrace your weirdness. Face your true north. Okay. What I am drawn to here for you, pile 2, it's interesting that you got the blue arrow. Blue related to like your throat chakra, which is all about communication, your thoughts, how you express yourself. The things that you think and wanting to put yourself out there and express yourself in a sense. But I am also seeing a lot of like turquoise and deep blue colors in these cards also in the You're Not For Everyone card. I just sense that maybe your north node or your true north is related somehow to expressing yourself or putting yourself out there somehow, communicating your thoughts and inspiration, your insights to other people. I am sensing that during this period, you're going to feel really inspired to reconnect with other people, is what I'm picking up on. It's a great opportunity for you to show people what you think and feel, and to show that you have a lot of love for other people, to reconnect with your loved ones, and to express that love through your voice, through kind gestures and stuff like that. But I really just also see that like this group should be in the limelight somehow, or standing up for their beliefs, expressing what it is that they believe to other people. So maybe your career is associated with being a leader, like being the boss of a company, or potentially expressing yourself through the arts somehow, through music, through talking, through vlogging, through YouTube, or through writing, through some sort of artistic talent where you express your deepest thoughts and desires and insights, is what I'm getting for you, pile 2. I just think it's a great time for you to share your love and devotion with other people, to reconnect with people that maybe you haven't seen for a while, to get in contact with like friends that you haven't talked to or been able to see for like the last year through the pandemic, where we're all been shut in and not being able to like get out and be social in a sense. So take a break, pile 2, is another message for you. Take a break and work on your health, potentially. Go for a walk, get out to the beach, focus on like your exercise regime, or work out like what the changes are that you need to make anyway, so that when you get back to working on this artistic talent of yours where you're expressing yourself, you have the know-how and the gumption and the desire to really go after it, guns blazing, in a sense. Beautiful. Moving on for you, pile 2. Let's get some further messages and insight for you. Ooh, let's start that again. Let's get some further messages and insight for you from the Commonplace Tarot deck. I love the card here, You're Not For Everyone. I am sensing that potentially you get a little bit worried sometimes about whether people like you, or this is a group I sense that maybe gets a little worried about what people think of them, that you focus on other people's needs and thoughts. You may get quite upset and be very emotional when people say something that's a little bit sort of scathing or critical potentially. I do pick up on a group here that's quite sensitive, I'm getting also. And in a good way, I sense that you show your emotions, you wear your emotions on your sleeve, you express your emotions quite clearly and openly. But sometimes potentially you may take things a little personally when it wasn't intended, or you can be quite offended by things that most other people would just sort of like, you know, fob off their shoulder in a sense. Noting that during this period with the full moon in Aries, that Mercury is in conjunct the moon, our thoughts, our mind, the way that we communicate is not seeing eye to eye, or has nothing in common with the moon and our feelings, our emotions, our desires. So there is a potential during this transit, during the full moon period, that maybe you will take things, misinterpret things, take things the wrong way. Potentially just be mindful of like asking for clarification if you don't understand what people are communicating to, or if you're not sure if you're understanding what it is that somebody wants, potentially. Ooh. Oh. Okay, there's 4 cards for you. The first card that came out is the Nine of Pentacles. You have the Justice card in reverse. Interesting, because Justice is ruled by Libra, and the Sun is currently in Libra. You have the Nine of Cups in reverse. And you also have the Strength card. Interesting, you have 2 nines there. So you have the Nine of Cups in reverse and the Nine of Pentacles. I just sense that maybe you've been through a bit of a rough period too, Paul, too. Even though I sense that this is a group that is very like dedicated and that sorts out issues pretty quickly. You don't like things to sort of like to sit in your mind and dwell. You like to like get things done is what I'm getting. A very motivated, down to earth, practical group. But I just sense that maybe things haven't been working out for you very like recently. With Justice in reverse and the Nine of Pentacles, like the Nine of Cups in reverse, that maybe you haven't been seeing the rewards for your efforts. That you've been working on something quite intensely recently. And it's something that I sense that you're very passionate about. It might be even like a YouTube channel and you're wondering when you're going to start to get the rewards for all of the videos you've been making, something like that. But you haven't been seeing the rewards. That there's a feeling of injustice about like the effort that you're putting in not being in balance with the rewards that you're getting. But I do see that very soon you're going to start to achieve these things and actually receive the rewards that you're after. Noting that you have the gibbous moon here, like, what does it say? You're very close to achieving your goal. And the fixed vision card with the quarter moon, sorry, the fixed moon, and like hold your vision, I should say. There's an indication to me that the universe is trying to indicate that just keep going, keep persevering, even though you may not be seeing the rewards that you are after right now or not getting the success that you feel that you deserve from the efforts you're putting in, that you're very close, that you will start to get it very soon. Like, so persevere through this period, keep working on these things. Maybe take some time with the recovery card here. Along with the strength card of like your inner resolve in a sense of working through it. Take some time out to like work out what needs to be changed in order to make sure that your plans are practical and that your plans will come into fruition. To tweak any plans that need some minor adjustments or something like that. Or even just to take some time out just to refresh your energy so that you can get back to this project that you're working on or whatever it is that you're trying to manifest with clarity and with motivation and with vitality. But with the Nine of Pentacles here, you will have success, most definitely, pile 2. You will achieve your goals. The Nine of Pentacles is like the independent woman that has her own wealth, that's achieved her own dreams and desires. She's very proud of the things that she's managed to achieve. And she's able to live the life that she's always wanted, of abundance and happiness, doing the things that she wants. So clear message for you, pile, to really like capitalize on this energy in the full moon, where there's a lot of planets in the earth signs, being very grounded, being very practical, to keep working through it, to not give up, to persevere, that you will have success. That you will have success if you continue to work hard and to like focus on your vision. But also, if you do need a break, maybe it's time to just take some time out to regather your thoughts and your motivation so that you can get back to it with clarity and purpose of mind, basically. That's all I have for you, pile 2. I hope that resonated with you. If it did, please like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. I'm just ignoring the fact that I knocked the cards over, so let's move on from that. Also, if you got something out of this reading and you feel like some friends or family might benefit from watching this video or some other of my videos, I'd love if you could like share this video or like, you know, put in a good word for me. That'd be great. I wish you a beautiful day, and let's move on to pile 3. Hello, pile 3, with a lovely lilac arrow. Beautiful. Let's find out what's coming your way, what you should know about the full moon in Aries. We'll start with your oracle cards. Ooh, you have the full moon. Nice. Surrender to the divine. This card always I always get 2 meanings from this card. Surrender to the divine in terms of like maybe changing the things that you know are holding you back, or if you are strongly connected to the other realms or to your spirit guides and angels, I sense that maybe they're giving you clear direction about what it is that you need to change or to stop doing. Maybe there's certain habits that you need to let go of that are holding you back from like achieving the things that you really want, or actually going down the path that you're being directed. But generally, it's actually a really positive card. Basically, it indicates that like whatever you're working on, or whatever you're asking your angels or your guides, the answer is yes, that you'll get the answers that you want. You'll have clarity. It's a very sort of abundant card, like things manifesting the way that you want, in a sense. It's a really positive and optimistic card. And you have the waxing moon. The energy is gaining momentum. And you have the card of the situation will improve. Interesting. Okay. So what I am seeing for you, pile 3, it's interesting that you've got the purple there. And that there's some strong purple and indigo and sort of violet and lilac colors in these cards. Also in this card too, with the situation will improve, and the angel here. Related to your crown chakra and your third eye chakra, your mind chakra, I do sense that this is a group that does receive quite often messages from their spirit guides, from their angels, that you are in communication with the intangible realm. You're aware of spirits and the presence of spirits. Potentially you get a lot of signs and synchronicities in your day-to-day life, and you use those to sort of guide you on your journey, potentially, is what I'm getting. But what I am seeing here, there's a strong indication also with these cards that maybe you've been feeling a little bit stuck recently, pile 3. Or that you've been making changes in your life is what I'm also seeing. That you've been making big changes in your life, like really releasing things that weren't serving you. I'm sort of picturing the 8 of Cups now in my head, of walking away from things that like no longer are for your best interest, so that you can level up and actually go after what it is that you want with more clarity of purpose and more like inspiration and motivation, in a sense. Like those things that weren't working for you, coping mechanisms, or even like small addictions like watching too much TV or spending too much time in bed, those kind of things. You're starting to break those habits and work on yourself so that you can be kind of a better version of yourself and be more inspired to make the changes in your life that will take you down the path that you want to go down. But I do sense that potentially, like, you've been feeling a bit flat recently, like making these changes hasn't really done much. You're not seeing the rewards for making these changes, or if you are working on something, there's something that you're trying to manifest, you have a new career goal or some sort of project that you're working on, potentially you're starting to wonder when you're going to start to see the rewards for it. But most definitely I'm seeing success here, absolutely. With the situation will improve, the energy is gaining momentum. Both these cards indicating that in the future, things will take off and start to, like, you know, take an upward trajectory again. That you will get through this period of, like, stagnation, or where you're not actually seeing the rewards for the work you're putting in. And with the surrender to the divine, this card is a really positive card, as I mentioned earlier, where the answer is yes, where you are having success, where whatever it is that you're working on will come into fruition, where you do make the changes, the very practical changes in your routine or your day-to-day life, letting go of those things that aren't serving you, so that you can be like a more sort of positive and better version of yourself that actually is more aligned with your North Node and your soul's path, basically, in this life, is what I'm getting for you, Pile 3. A highly sort of spiritually inclined group, quite connected to something bigger. I sense that you are being directed to make changes in your life right now, or that you are sort of being guided down a specific path. And just trust that, like, that things will start to fall into place for you very soon, is what I'm getting from these cards. That in the future, very soon after the new moon, is what I'm getting, you'll start to see real tangible changes in your life, the world around you. You'll start to see the benefits for the things that you've been working on, all the things that you've been changing. So just have faith in your guides in the universe, that you will start to see success and rewards, basically. Pile 3 is the message I'm getting for you. Lovely. Your next card is surrender to the sweetness. So you have surrender to the divine and surrender to the sweetness. Venus energy, pleasure, joy, make love to life. Beautiful. And you have the wait card. It's not time yet. Things are being woven. Okay. Well, that's a very clear message, that one. I understand that maybe you're feeling a little frustrated right now. You're starting to wonder when you're going to have success, or when things will take off, when those changes that you've been working on will actually benefit you in some way. If you've been working on your health, potentially, when you're going to start to see the rewards from all the time at the gym, or all the walking and the exercise that you've been doing, that kind of thing. That's just a strong indication here to me that you need to trust that things will work out for your best, in a sense, that the universe has your back, and that they are supporting you on the things that you were working on, that soon you will start to see the changes and the benefits for those changes. It's just an indication that divine timing is coming into it with the wait card. Along with the energy is gaining momentum, that it is starting slowly to take off again, and the situation will improve. All of these cards indicating that in the future, you will start to see the rewards, in a sense. It's just not time yet right now. So I sense after the new moon, the full moon in Aries, if you continue to persevere and use this strong, like, earth energy and motivation during this period, that you will start to have success. Like, continue to persevere and to continue to work on the things that you're working on. And soon, in time, very soon, you will have success. You will see the rewards. But also surrender to the sweetness, Venus energy. Noting that Venus is actually making a trine to Mars right now, and this is this aspect, or this harmonious aspect, it's a harmonious aspect, is kind of a period where we are all sort of understanding of each other, where we really enjoy connecting with other people, that we have sort of like a period where we just see eye to eye, and we enjoy being in the company of our loved ones, of other people. Noting that the sun is in Libra right now too, which is all about reconnection, of harmony, of sharing our thoughts and our ideas with other people, of being very social and looking out for other people in a sense. So I just sense that right now it's a good time to shift your focus from whatever it is that you've been working on. Maybe take some time out, pile 3, and shift your focus to like spending time with your loved ones and reconnecting with people that maybe you haven't seen for a long while because of the pandemic and stuff like that. We've all been shut indoors, and it's time for you to get out, reconnect, to have fun, to let loose. Maybe do things that bring you joy and pleasure, like with Venus energy here. Go have a nice meal somewhere. Spend time in nature. Do things that you love, like look after your own needs right now. And try not to stress too much about when you'll start to see the rewards for these things that you've been working on. Just shift your focus a little bit, take some time out, and then get back to it in a few days with clarity and of purpose, and start to persevere again and know that you will have success in the future is what I'm getting. But with the Wake card here, also, and the surrender to the sweetness, yeah, strong indication that it's time to pause, to change your focus a little bit right now. Think about other things that bring you pleasure and joy. Lovely. Moving on from that, pile 3, let's get some further messages and insight for you from the Commonplace Tarot deck. Spirit, can we get some further messages, please, for pile number 3 about what's coming in for them during this full moon in Aries? This full moon is actually a harvest full moon. It's called the harvest full moon in October. So it's the first full moon after the autumn equinox. So it is the time when you can start to harvest the rewards. Ooh, this is the second time I've knocked the cards over in this reading. I did it for pile 2 too. So after the full moon, most definitely, this being the harvest full moon, and the indication here that there is divine timing coming in, that you will have success. You will start to be able to harvest the fruits of your labor, in a sense, pile 3. Any further messages, please, for pile number 3? Ooh. Okay, wow. Okay, you got quite a lot of cards there. They just wanted to fly out for you, pile 3. Interesting. So you have the Emperor. You had the Chariot. You had the Hermit in reverse. You have the 8 of Swords in reverse. And your final card is the King of Swords in reverse. Okay. Right, so what I am seeing from those cards for you, pile 3. Firstly, let's start with the Emperor and the Chariot card. So you have 3 major arcana that came out, which is really interesting. This is like a deep transformation for you, noting that Saturn and Pluto are conjunct in Capricorn, which is also squaring Mars, where this aspect is all about making sure that we get things right, doing things the right way, changing routines that aren't working, trial and error in a sense, like trying new things, like going beyond things that we've already done before to see if it works for us, if it doesn't, like stepping out of our comfort zone and making big, bold changes, but doing it in the right way. Having a clear process about what works for us and like following that process until we get the rewards that we want. So I'm really seeing with the Emperor and the Chariot card, the Emperor, which is all about authority, discipline, motivation, in a sense, ruled by Mars, and the Chariot card of taking action, that right now, or after the full moon is what I'm getting. I really see with these 2 cards combining that a lot of work, a lot of discipline, taking action, being very dedicated in making the changes that you want, or committing to the things that you want to like manifest in your reality, pile 3. You will have success, that you have a lot of energy and vitality to. You have the motivation to do these things, to make the changes. You're feeling really inspired and energetic, very determined to do the things that you want is what I'm seeing. But I'm also seeing here with the Hermit card, Hermit in reverse here indicates to me that it is time for you to get outdoors, to socialize, to not be a hermit anymore, to like step outdoors and to start reconnecting with people. That you're keeping yourself stuck in a sense. With the 8 of Swords here in reverse, talks about feeling as if we don't know what to do to change our lives. But I just sense that you're coming into a period where you're actually getting more clarity, in a sense. You're having like downloads of understanding and epiphanies about what it is that you need to do to change your life for the better, in a sense. So you're not only like getting the insight as to what you need to do, in a sense, after this full moon, pile 3, but then you'll have the motivation and the discipline, the energy and the vitality to make those changes, to follow through with those insights into making those practical changes that will lead you to success and rewards, is what I'm getting. Finally, though, with the King of Swords in reverse here, right next to the Hermit card, I did touch on it during the astrological forecast, if you watched that Mercury is in conjunct to the moon during this full moon period. So Mercury, which rules our communication of our thoughts, the way we think and the way we communicate, is kind of not seeing eye to eye. They have nothing in common with the moon, which is our feelings, our desires, what we need right now. So just be mindful that when you get out and start to see other people, to reconnect with other people, to share your love, and to do the things that you love with other people, that try to be mindful that there is a potential that you may take things, you may misinterpret what people are saying to you, or you may take offense to something that somebody says that maybe necessarily isn't true. Just take some time before you respond to something to make sure that what you're saying is clear, but also it's not reactive to something that maybe you're taking offense to. Ask for clarity if you need it, like if you don't understand what somebody's saying to you, or potentially you're about to misinterpret it or take it the wrong way, maybe ask for clarity to make sure that you are understanding of what they're trying to communicate. And you know, it's also good to like ask the people that you are talking to whether they actually fully understand you, whether they see eye to eye with you and they know what you're trying to get at, basically. So I think that's just a note, that something to keep in mind. But I just sense that right now it's a great opportunity for you to get out, to reconnect, to spend time doing the things that you love, but also to spend time doing the things that you love with the people that you love, you know, to reconnect to those people that are most important to you. And in a few days' time, I'm getting, after the full moon, you're going to have clarity of purpose, a lot of motivation and energy, and just feeling inspired to go after the things that you want in life, guns blazing, is what I'm getting for you, pile 3. Whoa. I did that in pile 2 too. Anyway, I'm just going to ignore that. That's all I have for you, pile 3. I hope that resonated with you. If it did, please like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. If you got something out of this reading and you feel like it could benefit someone that you love or a friend or something, I'd love it if you could share it on. That would be great. I wish you a beautiful day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.